He calls himself a simple man, says he's in forced exile, but is absolutely clear there's no question of him coming back. What does the Modi government now intend to do? Joining me now, Sudhanshu Mittal, spokesperson of the BJP. Dilip Cherian is a well-known image consultant. I want to see what he makes of this interview. Also with us at this time is Sujay Kantawala. He's an advocate. He's defended Vijay Mallya before this. First and foremost, Sudhanshu Mittal, to you. Here's this man. He's not hassled in the least. This is the first time he's speaking in public since this whole attempt to try and bring him back started after he fled. He's cool. He's saying, I am not coming back. Forget it. What are you going to do? Sudhanshu Mittal?
Rahul, very cleverly, he has omitted talking about the criminality. You see, the passport has been cancelled for his failure to respond to the summons issued by the enforcement.
No, don't give me what
is the
you think. Tell me what are you going to do? The man says he's not coming back.
Brad loans.
He's not coming back. How are you going to change that?
Yeah, that's what I'm... Rahul, we are going to get him for the reason that he is being investigated for criminality and not a civil offence of not paying the banks. And the criminality is that there was a loan of 900 crores taken from the IDBI, which has been siphoned as per the agencies. Now, this is the criminal offence under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and which is punishable in UK also. So, consequent to the cancellation of the passport, now the extradition proceedings shall get started. And because
no, but Sujay Kantawala,
also,
after this interview, do you think this is a man sitting pretty? He spoke to the Financial Times for 4 hours. In this interview, he says, I'm not coming back. As someone who's defended him in the past, do you believe he's worked out his strategy, he knows what he's doing, and he's speaking out in public because he knows he has a way of ensuring he doesn't have to come back?
Look, let me put it this way. We have a very strong finance minister. We have a very strong attorney general. We have a very strong Supreme Court. But Mr. Mallya has played his cards very well. In the interview, he's pointing directly towards extraneous considerations and serious human rights violations, which are the two parameters on the basis of which an extradition request made to the UK goes first before the Secretary of State. After the Secretary of State reviews the whole thing, the Secretary of State then sends it to a court to issue a warrant. At all stages, Mr. Mallya has a chance to be heard. Obviously, the way the things are looking and the way he says that I'm in exile because it is unprecedented how my passport has been revoked, these are principles of natural justice.
He's building a case very clearly, Sudhanshu Mittal, suggesting that he will seek asylum, saying that my rights are being violated, there's unprecedented haste. All of this would seem to suggest that at some point in time he'll say, I will be persecuted if I go back unfairly and therefore I shan't.
Rahul, this is wishful thinking. He is a member parliament. He's a sitting member parliament who's expected to respect the law of land. And the law of land is that if you are being investigated for a criminal offence, you have to submit yourself to all such investigations. The summons have been issued and he has refused to subject himself to any questioning and investigation. So all this talk which I heard from my learned colleague here is just a smokescreen thinking.
Okay, Dilip Cherian, from a perspective of his body language, his composure during this interview, what's the body language communicating to you? What's the message Mallya is trying to send to the Modi government and to the people who are watching? Dilip Cherian.
You know, it's very clear that Mallya is very confident of where he is. He's sending out, as the lawyer said, certain messages which are directed less at India and more at the possible extradition proceedings that may begin in the UK. So his audience is less India, which is why he has chosen the Financial Times, a publication and a channel which is respected enough to be able to convey a message to the highest echelons of the British decision-making authorities. The second thing he's doing is that he is showing great calm and composure under pressure. And this is something that makes people wonder whether Mallya is being, in a sense, singled out because of his flashy tie, which is visible in the interview, or his flashy lifestyle, which is visible right through in everything that he does, including the snippets that the Financial Times chose to air. So there is the feeling he's creating that it is an attack on my lifestyle, and therefore I'm being singled out for more vicious criminal proceedings.
Interesting,
than
because
any other
Dilip Charan's focusing on
this country has
the message
no
that
shortage of.
Vijay Mallya is trying to send. So what we did is we just looked at the footage very carefully and actually put together some of the key moments, the key messages that Vijay Mallya is hoping to communicate, and as all our guests are saying, more to the audience abroad than to the people back home. Take a look at this. Dilip Charan, in the manner in which he dresses up, in the manner in which he speaks, in the manner in which he's presenting himself, is he trying to present himself as someone less flamboyant, a simple man? He claims completely the opposite of the image we've seen so far. Surrounded by girls at F1 parties, having fun at IPL matches. Is this a man who's attempting an image correction in the UK?
He's certainly, doing double speak. I love that line where he says that there is nothing wrong or illegal about wearing a colorful piece of clothing, referring to obviously a very expensive tie which adorns his neck. So the fact is that here is a man who is using words very cleverly to say that once again, here I'm being simple, I'm just being a businessman, and I'd like to restart my businesses in India. If only the banks were to pay attention.
Vijay Kantawala,
So
if you were
he's
Defence
not
Counsel, what
pleading
would
with
you
them.
do next? Will Vijay Mallya be soon petitioning the British government, saying he's being prosecuted unfairly and therefore he must not be sent back to India? Is that his next course of action, Mr. Kantawala?
Look, he says he's innocent. He has not siphoned off any funds, and that he has absolutely nothing he has done wrong. He is completely innocent. He is disputing the figures also which have been flagged off, and they are 9,000 crores. He is disputing. Now, having said that, he is definitely going to, and that is what Lalit Modi did. He has engaged a law firm, and for the first time, Interpol, being an international police who does not have to think, they have to act. They have started now calling people before a red corner notice is issued for a hearing. So naturally, the moment the extradition request is sent to the UK, Mr. Mallya's legal team in the UK is definitely going to spring up and definitely start making
So
petitions.
far, he set the pace. Sudhanshu, you couldn't get Lalit Modi back despite all the chest beating by the BJP. We couldn't get Lalit Modi back. What makes you think we'll get Mallya back?
Rahul, here is a member parliament who's a fugitive from justice. The coolness, the put on act of innocence will not sustain, for the simple reason that he's facing very, very serious charges. Charges under Money Laundering Act. Charges of siphoning of money which was given as loan by the IDBI but used for his personal purposes. If he was so innocent, the right course for a member parliament of this country would have been to subject himself to the questioning by the ED. If he was clean, he would have come out, he would have said,
you've
these are the facts
made
of the
that
case.
point
These are my
repeatedly.
accounts.
The reality is now we'll have to convince a British judge that the man is guilty of money laundering. Until the time we can prove this in a British court, it seems highly unlikely that we can actually bring Vijay Mallya back. Sudhanshu Mittal, Mr. Kantawala, Dilip Charan for joining me on the newsroom tonight. Thank you very much. I want to now take you through some of the other big news headlines that have made it to the newsroom this evening.
Bhumata Brigade's Tripti Desai, that's breaking news just coming in. She's been whisked away from Dargah Haji Ali. She wanted to enter the Dargah. She wasn't permitted to enter the Dargah. These are pictures of protest.
India, and Shivan was excited about it. So yeah, here's Shivan with his review of the Huawei watch.
You make a smartwatch look like an analog watch and you're sure to